Welcome back, folks, for a new episode of Leaked, where I report on information regarding to what's coming next for World of Tanks. Now, I wanted to do the 9.4 Supertest Patch Notes last Friday, but I was preoccupied with the stupidity of YouTube, so I totally forgot. God damn it. Alright, but here are the patch notes for the 9.4 Supertest server, if you will. But the 9.4 public server should be up today, around evening times, I guess, but here are the patch notes. So the M56 Scorpion, the Panzer II-D, the Object 260, the T-55A, and the Panther 88mm, as well as the T-28 Concept and the Stoke 4 are added for the Supertest only. Now, you will not see all these tanks released with the 9.4 patch, but some of it will be reward tanks, such as the Object 260, the T-55A, as well as the T-28 Concept, so that's a big change. But tanks like the M56 Scorpion, the Panther 88mm L71, as well as the Stoke 4 are actually premium vehicles they could buy off the gift shop, but alright. And the Panzer II-D will be the New Year's gift from Wargaming, so okay. The T-34-3 gets a buff, so reload time got reduced from 14.4 seconds to 13.4 seconds, which is good. It needs it. Accuracy loss from moving the turret got reduced, so that's pretty nice. So it has the 122mm derp gun, so it needs it. The AT-15A gets a buff with tier 8 maximum matchmaking instead of tier 9 now, which is very good. Hit points got buffed by almost 25%, 850 to 1050. That's crazy. It's a tier 7 tank, so it has a tier 8 tank destroyer hit points. That's pretty good. Camo coefficient of the T-54 Light got fixed. Alright. Fixed bugs in the visual models of the SU-100, the IS-7, the Yak Panther. I noticed the Yak Panther has tracks sticking out of it underneath the ground, so that's a bug. Alright. And the M24 Chaffee. So they're fixing bugs with a 9.4 patch, obviously. Fixed bugs with the collision model of the M24 Chaffee, the KV-85. Fixed the names of the T-67 turrets. Alright. Changes in the map of Kamaran, Melanovka, Airport, and Arctic. So I only saw the changes in Melanovka, which is basically a new building or a rock at the south base or something like that. I'll show you with my Weekend with Sam video, so be sure to watch that. But alright, they didn't give all the changes, but okay. Improved the performance, FPS of Windstorm map. Alright. Some maps receive I before E except after C, son. Receive the effects of artillery fire barrage within 30 seconds of the countdown. So maps like Melanovka, where everybody camps at the, or just have an open space in the middle, you can actually see artillery fire for the first 30 seconds of countdown. So that's pretty nice. Artistic cosmetic points, I guess. And lots of bug fixes. Wonderful. So they fixed the bug with the render of some HD tank model, reduced the performance of the game, which is good. You increase the FPS. Change the damage model of damage done by turret ripping off the ammo rack explosion. Okay. Improve the quality and optimization of the performance of shadow render. Alright. Optimize performance of UI elements. More surnames added to the crew name list. Alright. Return the option of disable or enable triple buffering to the graphics settings. Okay, I didn't notice that, but alright. Remove the historical battles option from the battle selection menu. Oh, okay, because there's no historical battles anymore. Rework some effects of shell hitting surfaces. Alright, more splash effects. Fix the inconsistency between visual and collision models of some environmental objects. Okay. Fixes some cases of tank being catapulted by driving over certain elements, such as the Kharkov map. Alright, so you actually cannot fling your tank into the air. The Super Scout. Alright, fix some UI and game bugs in Stronghold mode. Fix some conditions to receive certain medals. I before E except after C. Alright, fix the markers scaling on the minimap to be proportional to the minimap size. Alright, fix the issue of platoon channel being blocked when platoon is created. Okay, fix the bug where you get the insertion window open when you quit a replay early. Okay, fix the bug where artifacts, artifacts, appear on your screen after you change the display mode. Alright, fix the company chat channel, fix the freezing of the company search window during creating a platoon, fix a bug where you get stuck on reloading tank crew status wheel in the hangar when exiting the battle. Okay. fix the 5th perk icon display, fix some freezes and crashes of the game client, fix the conditions of the hunter medal, a bug where the server selection reset it during unsuccessful attempt to log in is fixed by the wrong password. Alright. And fix some replay recording issues as well as clan logo appearance in the hangar with the resolution of 1280 or above. So a lot of bug fixes. That's pretty much it, as expected from my 9.4 patch predictions, I guess. But 9.5 will be super huge because 9.5 will introduce the new British TD line with the Sherman Firefly as well as Havoc. So yeah, 9.5 will be big, but 9.4 will prepare by fixing a lot of bugs beforehand and whatnot. But here are also the model changes for some of these tanks that I noticed were quite interesting. So here is the tank model for the Panzer II-D, and it's pretty much 30 millimeters, whatever, tier 2, 210 hit points, whatever. It's a machine gun. It has a little mantlet. But here is the Object 260, the IS-7 prototype. Notice that the turret has a space armor of 250 cone-ish, and it's flat, kind of flat on the turret, so that's interesting to note. Now, what is interesting also is that the top of the turret is very, very lightly armored, and you may be able to pull off IS-3 shots into the turret. So you know how the top plate on the IS-3 is very weak, about 20 millimeters, and you can actually penetrate the top of the turret from the front of the tank if your tank is high enough. So the Object 260 might have the same problem. That's gonna be rough, so take note. But it does have side armor or space armor like the IS-7. So alright. Also note that there's no armor behind the gun mantlet. The gun mantlet is 250 millimeters, but there's nothing behind it. So you might be able to penetrate the mantlet of this thing and directly damage the gun or the crew. So that's a big weak spot. Alright. Here is the Panther 88mm L71. Alright, it's pretty much the same Schmaltern turret as you notice on the Panther 2 and stuff like that, which is alright. It has space armor as the side flaps. Alright, nothing big. Also has space armor as the viewports. So these are actually viewports which act as space armor. Shooting this will not penetrate the tank per se, but you'll just hit through the space armor and hit the side of the turret. But it's probably automatic bounce if you hit this. Alright. Here is the Stoke 4. Now, what is interesting is that the top plate is not 80 millimeters. It's about 20 millimeters. Slow backwards, very good, but 20 millimeters will not bounce shots, so you can easily penetrate the top plate. Now, if the top plate is 80 millimeters, it will bounce a few shots, but yeah, the Stoke 4 is not that good based on the stats. The tank is slow in comparison to the Stoke 3, as well as the gun. The gun is not the... It is historically accurate, but it is not the long 75mm gun that's on the Stoke 3, so yeah. Ugh. Here is the T-28 concept. Now, it is very well armored at the front, 203mm, so all heavy tanks at tier 7 will not penetrate this thing from the front, so that's quite alright. Also, tier 8 tanks might have a problem penetrating you from the front other than tank destroyers, and tier 9 will not have problem any whatsoever. But it also has 30 degrees, I think, about 30 degrees of gun traverse to each side. So this thing gets about 60 degrees of gun traverse instead of the 180 degrees. But, well, we got to test this out on the 9.4 test server, so be patient. This is not confirmed yet, but alright. Also note that the top plate is not 100 or 203 millimeters. It's only about 25-ish. Yeah, it's about 25-ish. Or what kind of freaking color is this? Yellow, green? I don't know. Okay, but it is very well sloped backwards. But if it's only 25 millimeters, it should act like the IS-3 top turret plate. So you might be able to penetrate this, but that depends on the armor of this thing. Now, if this thing is above 40 millimeters, it will not be penetrated. It will automatic bounce. So guns will not outmatch this armor if it's above 30 or 40 millimeters. All right. The upper top of the hull is about 63.5 millimeters. So this will bounce. If you shoot here, it will bounce. Shoot here, if you can't penetrate 203 millimeters, you will penetrate, but mostly it will bounce. this plate is what's concerning to me because it looks like 25.4 and it's probably going to be 25.4. Then that's going to be like the IS-3 top turret weak spot, so that's very concerning, but it's a small target if you aim it directly from the front. All right. Also note that there's nothing behind the gun mantlet, which I think so you actually could penetrate. Well, there is a gun mantlet, but the gun mantlet is pretty thick, 203 millimeters. But if you're able to penetrate the gun mantlet, there is almost nothing, about 25, 40-ish millimeters. So yeah, the gun mantlet is decent, so you might be able to penetrate. Also note there's side armor is also space armor. That's pretty neat. As well as the machine gun boobs are 101 millimeters. So it's also very rounded. So you might hit the edge of the machine gun boob and bounce off, but it's still a weak spot in comparison to the rest of the tank. Alright, but it also has space armor at the sides. So that's about 50.8 millimeters. That's nuts. So side scraping with this thing is not a bad idea, but this tank, the T-28 concept, will likely be a reward for a special mission instead of premium shop item. So that's gonna suck. And here is the T-55A. Now also notice that this tank has only one cupola instead of the two cupola like the T-54. That's pretty interesting. So you're effectively removing a cupola weak spot on the top of the tank, which is pretty good. Now it has weak roof armor, but it might be able to not shoot this roof armor, so that's questionable. But it has one less cupola, so that's what I noticed from the model viewer. Alright, and here is the T-95E2, the Tier 8 American Premium Medium Tank. Also note that the frontal armor of this thing is not that good. So the only strip of 178 millimeters is only on the peak or the beak of the tank. So it's not covering the top plate. So that's gonna suck. Also note that the cupola is super weak, about 0 millimeters. 0. This is super weak cupola. Oh man, I mean, it's if it's like the T-110E5's cupola, I mean, you could bounce a few shots of those things because it has about 110 millimeters at the cupola. But this thing has around 10, 20-ish at best. So easily penetrated, easily. Super big weak spot, but oh gosh. Alright, and that's pretty much it for the model viewer. So basically, with a 9.4 patch, you get mostly are bug fixes and some vehicles, such as the M56 Scorpion, the Panther 88mm L71, as well as the Stoke 4, but that's pretty much it. As well as a few buffs for the premium tank, the T-34-3, the AT-15A, but most of this patch is fixing bugs. It's focused on fixing bugs and whatnot, but whatever. Alright. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and it's a quick video. The 9.4 patch is not that long, so we should get this 9.4 public test server up on today, actually, around evening, so 6 hours from now, hopefully. That was planned, but it might be delayed or something like that. Alright, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. Comment below what you think about the 9.4 Supertest patch notes, whatever. But yeah, ask me anything about this patch, which is mostly bug fixes. But subscribe to my channel for more leaked videos on World of Tanks, as well as my tank reviews and gameplay editing stuff like mods and, you know, tips on events and stuff like that. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.